Hello everybody, welcome to the CTO Demon channel. This is another core curriculum talk, and the talk is reverse card 2. My good friend Paul Gao, he always uses these 3-letter words to describe things in retrograde CTO PCI. So for example, he's going through a collateral channel and he comes up and he finds that the approach is not good. He'll say, oh, the AOA is no good. AOA, angle of attack, means that your direction towards the distal cap of the CTO is not good from this channel. Or the LEP is too short. That's the length of emerging point. Where your retrograde channel emerges to the main CTO vessel, do you have enough length to get a good poke at the distal cap or not? So he's the one who invades all these 3-letter words. And so when I was working on a new reverse card technique, I was thinking I should make a 3-letter word to it. So as I'm thinking, I'm trying to wire the tip of the balloon. So it should be balloon tip wiring, BTW, or tip balloon wiring, TBW. And suddenly, bingo, it came to my mind. I should call it end balloon wiring, EBW. Because as you know, my name is Eugene Brian Wu. EBW are my initials. It seemed a little bit self-promoting at first, but we've gotten used to it now. So end balloon wiring is the next step in reverse card. Now, the reasons behind this is quite simple. Wire mechanics. Wires are forward-moving devices. When we hold onto a wire at the microcatheter, okay, there's actually only 2 types of motion that we can generate, okay? The forward and back motion, the counter and clockwise rotation motion. That's all the motion we can generate, okay? Which means what we can do to a wire is to push it to go forward, pulling it coming back, push it forward, pulling it, and we can turn it, okay? These dominant forces can only go forward and back and rotate, which means you can put force on a wire to go forward into something in front of it very efficiently. But if you wanted to go to something on the side of it, you're depending on the curve and pushing on that curve for that curve to catch and puncture. Obviously, the force that can be generated to puncture on the side of the wire is much less than puncturing forward. And the control of the wire to puncture forward is much better than the control of the wire to push to the side. That's because by pushing to the side, you have to rotate and push, whereas pushing forward, you just push, and you're pushing directly. The force from your fingers is directly transmitted to the wire tip to push forward. So wires do much better when they're trying to penetrate a target right in front of them than when they're trying to penetrate a target next to them. So this principle is demonstrated beautifully in a video that I worked on a model with end balloon wiring with the Gaia family of wires. So here you see the side balloon entry reverse card, and the wires on the side of the balloon and pointing in the right direction. When we deflate, we can push in, but it's difficult to get in. It's difficult for 2 reasons. One is it's difficult to go to the side. Second, you might pull all the way through. Now this is end balloon, and you can see how easily the wire can go when it's going towards the end of the balloon to wire into the true lumen. With these wires then, we are much better off penetrating the end of the balloon. And this is called end balloon wiring. Now, what's the point of end balloon wiring? I mean, can you demonstrate end balloon wiring is better than side balloon wiring? Well, no, I can't really, except the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Try it out in your cases. And most of the people who've tried it out in the cases realize this is a wonderful thing. That end balloon wiring works, and it's very fast, and it cuts time off. And so, try it out. Is end balloon wiring better? You should do it in your cases, and you will know. Now, there are certain things we need to understand about end balloon wiring. The prerequisites of end balloon wiring. End balloon wiring works best when both the antegrade and retrograde wires are intra-plug, and there has not been much wiring done in the retrograde direction. So you've not created peri-wire space. And number 3, the retrograde microcatheter can be pushed near to the tip of the retrograde wire, so you have maintained retrograde wire control. So end balloon wiring is all about having retrograde wire control. In the conditions where you have a controllable directable retrograde wire, it is the fastest way to do reverse cut by wiring towards the end of the balloon. That's the principle. And the conditions are, number 1, there's not been a lot of peri-wire space or subintimal space expansion around your retrograde wire. Number 2, you have a directable, movable retrograde wire that the microcatheter is very near to, so you have control over it. Number 3. So those are the conditions. And so if you're doing a retrograde case and you know your antegrade is interplaque and your retrograde is interplaque, then of course try end balloon wiring. And I hope that when you try it, you find that it works well. Now, end balloon wiring also works when the antegrade is intraplaque and the retrograde is subintimal, because you need to penetrate intraplaque anyway if the retrograde is subintimal. And once you penetrate intraplaque, it is still easier to wire towards the end of the balloon than from the side. And end balloon wiring also works when both antegrade and retrograde are subintimal, because again, pointing towards the end of the balloon is easier. So the only condition where end balloon wiring doesn't work well is when antegrade is subintimal and retrograde is intraplaque, because the antegrade is in a big space, and so when you penetrate, whether you penetrate in the end or the side, makes no difference, and it's not better for you. So this is the end balloon wiring video and the technique. I recommend that you try it out in your cases, see if it works, see how it does on reverse card. Does it cut down your time in your reverse card procedure? And I hope that you try it and you find it useful. If you like it and you find it useful, press the like button. And of course, if you want to follow other videos, there's 2 more coming on reverse card. Do subscribe to the channel. I'll see you next time, all my friends. Bye-bye.